Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take a moment and think about something. Think about how much time you spend worrying about what other people think, what they need, what they expect. Now ask yourself, where do you fit into that equation? How often do you put yourself first? Because here's the truth, when you prioritize yourself, everything else falls into place. Imagine trying to fill a glass from an empty pitcher. No matter how much you tip it, shake it, or will it to pour, nothing comes out. That's exactly what happens when you try to give your time, energy, and love to others without first replenishing yourself. Too often, people wear exhaustion like a badge of honor, believing that self-sacrifice is the key to being a good parent, a good friend, a good leader. But what happens when you keep giving without receiving? You burn out, you become resentful, you find yourself running on fumes, trying to push through, convincing yourself that if you just give a little more, everything will be fine. But the truth is, you cannot give your best to the world if you are barely holding on yourself. Prioritizing yourself is not selfish, it is necessary. You cannot support others effectively if you are mentally, emotionally, and physically drained. Think about a time when you were overwhelmed, running from task to task, answering every call, saying yes to every request. Did you feel fulfilled? Or did you feel stretched so thin that you had nothing left to give? Society often teaches us that putting ourselves first is wrong, that we should always be available, always giving, always sacrificing. But let's be real. When you neglect yourself, you don't just suffer personally, your work suffers, your relationships suffer, and eventually everything around you starts to crumble. Consider the airline rule. Put your own oxygen mask on before assisting others. That's not just a guideline for emergencies, it's a life lesson. If you can't breathe, how can you possibly help someone else? If your mind is cluttered, if your body is exhausted, if your spirit is drained, then everything you offer will come from a place of depletion rather than abundance. People think they're doing the right thing by always putting others first, but what they don't realize is that neglecting themselves only leads to exhaustion, frustration, and even resentment. Taking care of yourself isn't a luxury, it's a requirement. That means getting enough rest. That means fueling your body with good food. That means taking time to do the things that bring you peace and joy. It means setting boundaries and saying no when necessary. It means acknowledging when you need a break and actually taking one without guilt. Because when you are at your best, you can give your best. When you are rested, focused, and energized, you become more productive, more creative, and more present. You show up fully rather than just going through the motions. The truth is, you can't serve from an empty cup. You can't love fully when you are drained. You can't lead effectively when you are exhausted. And you can't pour into others when you have nothing left for yourself. The moment you understand that your well-being is the foundation for everything else in your life, that's the moment things start to fall into place. When you respect yourself, you set the standard for how others will treat you. People take cues from the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, and the way you allow yourself to be treated. If you don't respect yourself, don't expect others to. If you constantly bend over backward to please everyone, if you allow people to cross your boundaries without consequence, if you shrink yourself to make others comfortable, you are teaching the world that your needs don't matter. And once people see that, they will treat you accordingly. Self-respect starts with recognizing your worth. It means understanding that you are not an afterthought, not a convenience, and certainly not someone who should be taken for granted. It means valuing your time, your energy, and your peace of mind. When you hold yourself to a higher standard, people notice. When you demand more for yourself, the world adjusts. But respect isn't just something you ask for, it's something you embody. It's in the way you walk, the way you talk, and the way you respond to situations. It's in the boundaries you set and the way you uphold them. There's a difference between being kind and being a pushover. Too often, people mistake self-sacrifice for love, thinking that saying yes to everything will earn them respect. But respect doesn't come from being overly accommodating. It comes from standing firm in who you are. It comes from knowing when to walk away from situations that no longer serve you. It comes from saying no without guilt and refusing to tolerate disrespect, no matter who it's from. People may not always like it when you start enforcing your boundaries, but that's not your problem. The right people will respect you for it, and the wrong ones will reveal themselves quickly, Confidence and self-respect go hand in hand. When you respect yourself, you exude a level of confidence that cannot be ignored. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone because your presence alone speaks volumes. You don't seek validation because you already know your worth. And when you operate from that place, people are naturally drawn to you. They respect you because they see that you respect yourself. They know they can't manipulate or take advantage of you because you have made it clear that you will not allow it. But self-respect isn't just about how others treat you. It's also about how you treat yourself. Do you speak kindly to yourself, or do you criticize every flaw? Do you take care of your body, mind, and soul, or do you neglect your own needs while prioritizing everyone else's? Respecting yourself means honoring your well-being, making choices that align with your values, and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. It means knowing that you are worthy of love, success, and happiness, not because someone else says so, but because you say so. When you respect yourself, the world has no choice but to follow suit. In a world that glorifies hustle, speed, and constant movement, slowing down almost feels like a sin. We are conditioned to believe that the more we do, the more valuable we are. That if we keep pushing, keep grinding, keep saying yes, we will eventually find success and happiness. But the truth is, clarity does not come from chaos. It does not come from running on autopilot, rushing from one thing to the next without stopping to breathe. Clarity comes when you slow down, when you take the time to step back, reflect, and truly understand what matters. When you move too fast, you miss things and stories and important details, signs, and even opportunities. You make impulsive decisions, react instead of respond, and often find yourself overwhelmed and confused. Your mind is cluttered with noise, distractions, and unnecessary worries, but when you slow down, you give yourself the space to think clearly. You start to see things for what they really are instead of what your anxious, overworked mind perceives them to be. You recognize what is truly important and what is just taking up space. Slowing down doesn't mean stopping. It means being intentional. It means taking a pause to ask yourself, am I moving in the right direction, or am I just moving? Because movement without purpose is just wasted energy. Sometimes we get so caught up in being busy that we don't realize we're busy doing the wrong things. We chase goals that don't fulfill us, say yes to things out of obligation rather than passion, and fill our schedules with tasks that don't bring us any closer to where we actually want to be. When you slow down, you create room for mindfulness. You start making decisions from a place of awareness rather than pressure. You begin to listen to yourself, to your instincts, your emotions, and the signals your body is sending you. You start to notice when something feels off, when a situation isn't aligned with who you are, when a relationship is draining you instead of lifting you up. You stop ignoring the red flags you were too busy to see before. Think about how often people rush into jobs, relationships, or commitments, only to realize later that they made the wrong choice. Why? Because they didn't take the time to slow down and think. They let outside pressures dictate their pace instead of trusting their own timing. But when you slow down, you start to make choices that align with your true desires rather than society's expectations. You become more patient, more intentional, and more in control of your own life. Slowing down also allows you to appreciate the present moment. Instead of constantly looking ahead to the next thing, you learn to value where you are right now. You stop chasing happiness as if it's somewhere in the future and realize that clarity, peace, and fulfillment come when you allow yourself to simply be. And in that stillness, everything begins to make sense. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is the force that separates those who dream from those who achieve. But in a world filled with distractions, discipline is becoming a rare skill. Everywhere you turn, something is fighting for your attention. Social media, endless notifications, entertainment, and even people who don't add value to your life. Distractions are easy, they are designed to be. But discipline, that requires effort, focus, and an unshakable commitment to your goals. The moment you choose discipline over distractions, everything in your life begins to change. The biggest lie we tell ourselves is that we'll get to our goals later. Later when we have more time. Later when we feel motivated. Later when things slow down. But later never comes because distractions don't stop. If you don't take control of your time, something or someone else will. Discipline is about making a decision every single day to prioritize what truly matters. It's about waking up early to work on your dreams while the rest of the world sleeps. It's about saying no to temptations that pull you away from your purpose. It's about understanding that short-term pleasure is never worth long-term regret. Success does not come from working hard once in a while. It comes from showing up consistently, even on the days you don't feel like it. Distractions will always be there, testing your focus, tempting you to take the easy way out. But discipline means pushing through when the excitement fades, when the process becomes difficult, and when no one is watching. It means keeping your promises to yourself, refusing to let temporary pleasures steal permanent progress. Because every time you give in to distractions, you are delaying your success. Think about the people who have achieved greatness. They didn't get there by luck. They got there by choosing discipline over distractions every single day. They sacrificed late night scrolling for early morning work. They traded comfort for growth. They understood that while distractions may feel good in the moment, discipline leads to something much greater: mastery, achievement, and the fulfillment of purpose. But discipline is not just about saying no to distractions. It's also about saying yes to the right habits. It's about structuring your day in a way that supports your goals. It's about creating an environment that makes success inevitable, surrounding yourself with people who push you forward instead of pulling you back. It's about making your goals non-negotiable and refusing to entertain anything that does not align with them. The truth is, distractions are not going anywhere. The world will keep pulling you in different directions, trying to make you lose focus. But you have a choice. You can let distractions control you, or you can take control of your destiny. Discipline is not about perfection, it's about persistence. It's about making the tough choices now so you can live the life you truly want later. The more you choose discipline, the less power distractions have over you. Energy is everything. It's not just about what you say or do, it's about what you radiate, what you carry with you, and what you put out into the world. Every single day you are attracting people, opportunities, and experiences that match your energy. If you move through life with doubt, negativity, and low self-worth, that is exactly what you will continue to encounter. But when you elevate your energy, when you operate from a place of confidence, purpose, and self-respect, the world adjusts to meet you at that level. Many people wonder why they keep experiencing the same struggles, why they keep attracting the wrong relationships, or why success seems just out of reach. The answer is often in their energy. Your mindset, your emotions, and your overall outlook on life shape what you receive. If you constantly dwell in fear, scarcity, and insecurity, you will attract situations that reinforce those feelings. If you believe you are undeserving of love, respect, or success, you will subconsciously make choices that confirm that belief. Your energy is a magnet. It draws in what aligns with it. This is why it's so important to be intentional about the energy you carry. When you wake up in the morning, do you focus on what's missing, or do you focus on what's possible? Do you surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you, or do you allow toxic energy to drain you? Everything you consume, what you read, watch, listen to, and engage with affects your energy. If you constantly feed yourself negativity, gossip, and doubt, that's what will dominate your reality. But if you fill your mind with growth, learning, and inspiration, your energy will begin to shift. Confidence and self-belief are some of the most powerful energies you can possess. When you truly believe in yourself, when you carry yourself with certainty, doors start to open. People start to notice. Opportunities begin to appear, not because of luck, but because your energy is now aligned with what you want. Think about the most successful and inspiring people. Do they walk into a room with hesitation, or do they carry a presence that demands respect? That's the power of energy. It speaks before you even say a word. But raising your energy isn't just about thinking positive. It's about taking action that supports the energy you want to embody. It's about taking care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. It's about setting boundaries and refusing to engage in anything that drains you. It's about making choices that align with your highest self, not your fears. When you start operating at a higher frequency, things that once frustrated you no longer affect you. People who once mistreated you no longer have access to you. You begin to move differently, and as a result, life responds differently. Your energy is your responsibility. If you want better, you have to be better, inside and out. The moment you decide to raise your vibration to align with the things you truly deserve, that's when everything starts to change. There comes a time in life when you realize that nothing is worth your peace. Not the job that drains you, not the relationship that breaks you, not the arguments that lead nowhere. Peace is something you cannot put a price on, because once it is taken from you, everything else in your life feels off balance. When you protect your peace, you protect your mind, your spirit, and your overall well-being. You begin to see that no amount of money, validation, or external success can replace the feeling of true inner calm. Many people go through life sacrificing their peace for things that do not truly serve them. They stay in toxic environments, entertain people who bring them down, and allow unnecessary stress to take over their days. They believe that being constantly busy or constantly engaged in conflict is just part of life, but it is not. Chaos is not normal. Living in constant worry is not normal. Feeling drained, overwhelmed, and emotionally exhausted should not be your everyday reality. When you learn to value your peace, you start making different choices. You stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You stop forcing relationships that disturb your sense of self. You stop engaging in negativity just because others expect you to. Protecting your peace means setting boundaries without apology. It means understanding that not everyone deserves access to you. Some people thrive on drama, and the moment you allow them into your space, they bring negativity with them. But the moment you refuse to engage, you take back your power. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't have to respond to every insult thrown your way. Silence is sometimes the strongest response because it shows that you value your peace more than proving a point. It also means being mindful of what you consume. The news, social media, certain conversations, all of these things have an impact on your mental state. If you constantly feed your mind negativity, fear, and comparison, your peace will suffer. But when you become intentional about what you allow into your space, you create an environment where peace can thrive. You start seeking out things that bring joy, clarity, and positivity. You spend time with people who uplift you rather than drain you. You engage in activities that recharge you rather than deplete you. The world will always have distractions, noise, and negativity, but that does not mean you have to participate in it. When you choose peace, you start moving differently. You don't rush to respond to negativity. You don't waste energy on things that don't align with your growth. You stop fighting battles that aren't yours to fight. Your peace becomes your priority, and everything that does not support it simply has no place in your life. The moment you understand that your peace is priceless, you stop allowing anything or anyone to take it away from you. The world doesn't change for you, it changes because of you. Too often, people wait for the right moment, the right opportunity, or the right circumstances before making a move. They wait for external validation, for luck, or for someone else to open a door for them. But life doesn't work that way. The moment you decide to shift your mindset, your energy, and your actions, the world begins to shift with you. It doesn't happen the other way around. Many people remain stuck in the same patterns because they refuse to change. They complain about their circumstances, their relationships, or their lack of success. Yet they do nothing differently. They keep showing up the same way and expecting different results. But if you want something new, you have to become something new. You have to take responsibility for your growth and stop waiting for external forces to align perfectly. The world mirrors your mindset. If you believe opportunities are scarce, you will only see scarcity. If you carry yourself as someone undeserving of respect, you will attract disrespect. If you see yourself as unworthy of success, success will always feel just out of reach. But the moment you shift, truly shift, everything around you adjusts. When you start walking with confidence, people begin to treat you differently. When you set boundaries and enforce them, others learn to respect them. When you decide that you are no longer available for toxic relationships, drama, or negativity, those things begin to fade from your life. It's not magic, it's alignment. You get what you tolerate. And the moment you raise your standards, life rises to meet you there. This is why mindset is everything. If you believe you are stuck, you will stay stuck. If you believe you are capable of more, you will start making decisions that reflect that belief. People often underestimate the power of a decision. A single decision to prioritize yourself, to step outside your comfort zone, or to pursue your goals without hesitation can change everything. But it has to start with you. You have to decide that you are done settling. You have to decide that you are worthy of more. You have to decide that your life is not meant to be spent in mediocrity, waiting for the world to give you permission to shine. When you make the shift, the world takes notice. New opportunities begin to appear. The right people start coming into your life. You start attracting situations that align with your new energy. But none of that happens until you take the first step. Too many people wait for the world to change before they do, but the truth is, the world is only responding to the version of you that you choose to be. When you level up, everything else follows. When you move with purpose, life starts moving with you. The world doesn't just adjust for anyone. It adjusts for those who decide they are ready to step into their full potential.